Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, depending on when you're watching this. I'm here today, and I actually want to talk about a couple of things. Now, it is Saturday morning, and of course, we're going to be talking about Smackdown. Well, I also want to start something new as of this week. Now, thanks to the SNS Radio Network Facebook page, and specifically Anthony Farley for posting it, I now have weekly access to what Big Daddy Donnie called on this week's O Show the single best wrestling show on television today, and that is NXT. So, I thought I would take the 45-minute plus and I would watch NXT's Clash of the Champions. Good show. Really solid matches, and I actually want to talk about that before I get into SmackDown. I just got finished watching SmackDown just a few minutes ago. So everything's fresh in my mind. It's not tomorrow morning. Well, it's not this morning. It's like 8, 9 o'clock in the morning where I'm just trying to get the video out so you guys can have some new content for the day. No, I'm actually just watched the show, so I want to start talking about NXT. Before I talk about NXT, AJ's weekend movie reviews are coming tomorrow. It's going to be a doozy, folks. AJ's last, barring circumstances beyond his control, i.e. he's not able to get here for whatever reason, this will be one of his very last, will be his last weekly movie review that I will be reading, word for word, verbatim off the computer screen. Because, as of next week, when Pop starts on Wednesday, when Iron Man 3 comes out this coming week, AJ will be doing a live review of it, as well as Place Beyond the Pines, which will be another review he's going to hit up as well. We're going to be watching that Tuesday night, so who knows if there'll be more? There might be. Just kind of depends on what comes out between now and then. So this week, you're getting five big movie reviews. We're talking movies we watched last week, Home Run and Girl Rising. We're talking a movie that AJ was able to watch the other day, which is Lords of Salem. And we're also talking the movies we watched yesterday, The Big Wedding and Pain and Gains. You get 5 big movie reviews, and I will read that to you guys verbatim this coming Sunday, which is tomorrow, so look forward to that, so it's going to be great. Pop's going to be awesome, and I really think we're going to hit 5,000 before Wednesday. I actually think it'll be well before Wednesday if you guys and girls continue to hit us up with your hits and watch these videos and enjoy these videos. Like I said, comment on the videos if you like them. Thumbs up the videos. We don't have that many. We have a few here and there, so there's always that. But that's Pop, and that's coming soon. But let's talk about the Clash of the Champions edition of NXT. Now, before the show started, Dusty Rhodes, who I believe is the commissioner, the storyline commissioner of NXT, actually came out. Storyline commissioner, storyline general manager, it works either way. General manager of NXT comes out and says basically that he's presenting this showcase of the champions, a champions edition. A Clash of the Champions, which of course Dusty holds near and dear to his heart because of his past with the term Clash of Champions, going back all the way to the NWA and WCW. It was a free televised event on TBS, and you look forward to it. It was 2 hours of wrestling, and it wasn't a pay-per-view. They were normally pay-per-view quality matchups, and matchups that you could have gotten on pay-per-view. It was before the days that pay-per-view really got big. And then even after pay-per-view got big, they still delivered for the Clash of the Champions. The free per-views is basically what they were calling it back in those days. Kind of like how now you have 3-hour Raws, and not everything is really top-notch. I mean, this isn't necessarily stuff I put on pay-per-view, but it works for television. Wow. So, the only problem with this show that I'm going to say right off the top is none of the outcomes were ever in question because this was filmed a few months ago, and the champions were set in stone, and of course you know that they kept their championships, or in some cases lost their championships, so they would probably retain on this program. As a matter of fact, during the opening matchup, there was actually an NXT scroll bar at the bottom of the screen that says this matchup was filmed weeks ago, or months ago, and that's just their reasoning for it, so. But we started our show off with the United States Championship being on the line between Antonio Cesaro taking on the man that gravity forgot, Adrian Neville, who independent fans would know as Pac or Pac, depending on how you look at it. And I'll be totally honest with you guys. I've not seen any of Pac's indie stuff. I really haven't. I hate to say that. I feel bad for saying I haven't, but I just haven't. I just get to this kind of laze sometimes. I just want to sit back and I want to be entertained, but I don't necessarily want to search for things. So sometimes I'll go get lost in YouTube land, but it doesn't happen very often. So I haven't really watched enough of his indie catalog. I know he's good. I've seen clips here and there, but I don't really know much about him. But I know that this match against Antonio Cesaro is not necessarily an indie dream match, because I'm pretty sure it's happened at least once before. But this is a match that is definitely something that people want to see. Also, just like how next week, apparently NXT is bringing in Chris Jericho, and the first thing that popped into my head was, I want to see Jericho against Cassius Ohno. But that probably won't happen, but it'd be awesome if it did. Now, we start off this match. It is for the United States Championship. And we get midway through the match. They go back and forth for a while. There's a lot of really awesome stuff. And Cesaro basically reverting back to his Claudio Castagnoli self. He is not yodeling. He's not playing a character. He's just being a no-nonsense Swiss strongman. I think that works best for him, personally. That and the very European character, I think they both work well. I don't like the WWE yodeler gimmick they're giving him. It's just terrible. But in this match, he actually could shine against somebody that he knew he could work with. So, we get midway through the match, and basically, Neville nails a beautiful, absolutely beautiful springboard moonsault that to the outside. Not really an acai moonsault, but like he's not jumping off the middle rope, he's off the top rope. And he got some massive height on that one too. I think he's at least 10, 12, 13 feet up in the air, if not higher. He probably almost touched the ceiling at Full Sail. So he nails it on Cesaro, and it looks absolutely brilliant. So we get back into the ring, and he goes up for a missile drop kick, which hits a springboard missile drop kick, which looks awesome. He sets Cesaro up and hits a standing shooting star press. And basically, they go back and forth a little bit longer. Cesaro goes for a backdrop. Neville reverses basically he tosses him up in the air. He goes for a backdrop. He tosses him up in the air, and he lands his legs around his neck. And he ends up, like, spiking him on his head with a cradle. Rolling him up, basically, for a near fall. Cesaro hits the knee strike. And Neville bounces around. He reverses. AJ Styles, K-Brada DDT. He basically goes for that. He gets swung around reverse into a tornado DDT, which looked absolutely awesome. And basically, he drags him to the corner. He goes up top for the corkscrew shooting star press. But this time, Cesaro shakes the ropes. He gets crotched up top, which William Regal on commentary mentions it as being that Rogered his custard. So, yay, awesome. I love Regal on commentary, by the way. He's awesome. And he gets the knee in, and Neville bounces around. Oh, long day. So basically, Cesaro charges, hits a nasty European uppercut, picks up Neville off the ropes, and hits the Gotch-style neutralizer, and 1, 2, 3. Awesome match. Easily, without any question, probably easily the best match on this show. There's 4 matches to choose from. This is the best match on the show. Phenomenal. Absolutely amazing. So, after this match, we're treated to the matchup that we're soon to get on WWE programming with the Divas Championship on the line, with Kaitlyn taking on the very beautiful AJ Lee. So, Kaitlyn gets in the ring, and she has a full introduction, and AJ's already waiting in the ring. And you could notice on this match that the crowd really didn't get behind Kaitlyn. It was funny because when Kaitlyn came out, and AJ went for a handshake, and they basically shook hands, the fans were chanting yes. When Kaitlyn was on top, the fans would chant no. And they were a lot more into AJ than they were the Divas champion. But I guess that's just how it works. So, midway through the match, this is, of course, the Battle of the Chick Busters. Oh, incidentally, during this match, AJ, utilizing maneuvers from basically everyone she's ever been linked with. Because she locks in a Fujiwara armbar, and then she locks up the backhammer, which is completely different from a hammerlock, as we learned from William Regal in this match. Reversed into a modified version of Daniel Bryan's old cattle mutilation back when he was the American Dragon. And hits the nice single-arm DDT. They go back and forth a little bit longer. AJ ends up with the drop kick, goes to the top, hits the flying body press, but Kaitlyn rolls through, and she locks up a hammerlock of her own, reverse into a reverse DDT, which looks awesome. She went for the spear, but AJ sidesteps her, and Kaitlyn goes to the outside. So AJ gets her back in the ring at about 7. She basically crawls in on her own volition. And AJ locks in a sleeper hold with leaping on the back of Kaitlyn. She has a nasty Shining Wizard. Miscalled, of course, on commentary. Because they didn't want to call Shining Wizard. It looked awesome, though. And she pretty much started brawling with Kaitlyn on the mat. And Kaitlyn pushes AJ off and nails the spear 1, 2, 3. Not bad. Not bad at all. I think Kaitlyn's time with the Divas Championship is rather limited, to say the least. I think if it doesn't happen at the pay-per-view, I think that it's going to happen on Raw. I think, actually, I'll be totally honest with you guys, when it comes down to it, I think it could happen just as soon as this Monday night. As soon as Monday night's Raw in Columbus, AJ Lee could win the Divas Championship. So, I don't know if they're going to go that way, but, I mean, just as soon as this Monday night, it could happen. Or they could wait till Extreme Rules. It could go either way, but I still think Kaitlyn's losing the championship rather soon. That way, you have a championship on Dolph as a World Heavyweight Champion. She has the Divas Championship, and now Biggie Langston doesn't have a championship. But then, what you do is, you bring the NXT belt into the WWE, but they don't really want to do that because they're kind of like mixing the brands, because NXT is kind of its own little entity, to be totally honest. It's not like Raw, it's not like Smackdown, it's not even like Main Event or Saturday Morning Slam. It's kind of something completely different. It looks a lot different. It looks a lot less polished, a lot less produced. It looks like it's, to be totally honest, it kind of reminds me of the old Center Stage Theater, the WCW days, 6:05 Eastern on WCW Saturday night. So, that's what it reminds me of. So, we get our NXT Championship match, which we see Biggie Langston, which I'll admit right now, in WWE, I don't despise him. I have indifference towards Biggie Langston. I hate his finish. I think he looks terrible. I think he is just utilized terribly, honestly. I don't think that they're using him to his full potential. And after having watched him in NXT tonight, or last night in this case, I kind of see the big deal. Somewhat. I'm not quite there. It's kind of like Ryback. I'm not there yet. But, I mean, I could progress to get that way. And personally, when AJ and Dolph end up turning on Biggie Langston and making Biggie a babyface, and him going after Dolph, I think that's the right thing to do. So I think he's going to be a great babyface in WWE if they use him like they use him in NXT. And this match was a defense against one of my personal favorites, Brad Maddox. So basically, Maddox announces himself to the ring, which is kind of cool. He goes for a handshake, but Biggie backdrops him. It's a huge back body drop. Not necessarily as high as Adrian Neville got, but he was kind of up there. So Brad goes for a whip, and of course he's trying to whip a brick wall, and it doesn't really work out that way. So he is basically reversed, and he mows him over Vader style, locks him up. Big ending, which actually looks impressive on someone like Maddox. I mean, and Daniel Bryan, he didn't look terrible, but I mean, I don't like the finish. I don't like his finish. I never will. So, I mean, it's going to take a lot to grow on me. I don't think it's a good finish. I think he would be a lot more suited to use that STO out of the corner. I mean, I know that's probably a signature, but it's a lot more believable than the big ending. I think the big ending is terrible, but I do like the fact that he's doing the old King Kong Bundy 5 count, even though that seems like more of a heel type thing. But then again, it's something that the fans could chant along in the whole match. You got to give it up to the fans at Full Sail. They were chanting 5, 5, 5 left and right, so it worked really well. So, I got to mention the NXT Championship looks like the X Division title, somewhat. I mean, not completely. I mean, obviously, there's like a giant X there. I mean, I think the NXT belts, I mean, they look alright. They're too gaudy looking. And they kind of look like they need to be melted down for pawn shop usage. Yeah. Maybe get some more money out of those championships when they melt them down, melt the gold down. They just look kind of gaudy to me. I'm still not even really sold on the WWE Championship now. I mean, it's kind of growing on me a little bit. But, I mean, and I don't mind the side plates for the specific superstar that has that at the time. The Rock had the Brahma Bull, and now John Cena's got the You Can't See Me. So, I mean, it doesn't bother me, but, I mean, it's going to take a while. So, our last match of the evening was a rematch from many, many, many moons ago. The Intercontinental Champion, Wade Barrett, defending against Bo Dallas. And I'll say right now, I don't like Bo Dallas. There's nothing against the guy. I know he's like 4th generation. He's half Rotundo, half Wyndham, depending on how you look at it. I mean, he's got Rotundo and Wyndham both in his blood. I mean, he was Bo Rotundo when he first came out. But then they changed him to Bo Dallas, made him a babyface. I don't like this guy. I think he's vanilla. I don't think he's great. The crowd totally turned on him too. And you have to think that the NXT guys are the people that they're used to, so they're going to cheer for them. And in a couple cases, they did. They cheered for Adrian Neville, and in essence, they somewhat cheered for Caitlyn, but it was very slight. Basically, it was completely AJ. They were really, really into Biggie Langston, but they just do not like Bo Dallas. They were chanting "No more Bo." I mean, this is like John Cena heat, basically, at this point. So, Wade Barrett comes out for this matchup, and, of course, we remember the fact that this was going to be something really big at one point. Obviously, Bo Dallas won an NXT Battle Royal at Access to get a shot at the Royal Rumble, and, of course, he eliminates Wade Barrett. And I made the comment during my Royal Rumble prediction that Bo Dallas would eliminate the person, and that would be his first feud. His first feud ended up being with Wade Barrett. It wasn't really a feud. It was a one-off that happened on Raw when Barrett actually lost. He lost a little bit of momentum. Then you never saw Bo Dallas again. And I think this would have been a perfect place for Richie Steamboat or Cassius Ohno, but not this time. Apparently they're still into it. So, we go midway through the match, and Barrett goes for the bullhammer, but this time Bo Dallas ducks out, locks up, Winds of Change, and Dallas kicks out. So Barrett goes for the bullhammer yet again. He misses one more time, and Dallas scores with this springboard bulldog. Yeah, the old Stratusfaction. Awesome. So, no offense to Trish Stratus, but I don't think Bo Dallas should be using this move. Anyway, Barrett kicks out. He hoists Dallas up for Wasteland. Dallas slips out, goes to the top. He leaps off the top, catches the bullhammer, knocks him out, 1, 2, 3, and Barrett wins. So, yeah. Good match. Good match. I mean, it wasn't great compared to the first match, but it wasn't bad for the main event. I really think that Neville and Cesaro should have been the main, but I understand why Barrett and Dallas was. So, it's alright. I understand. NXT was fine, and I will continue to watch. So keep watching because I'm going to start reviewing NXT. So get ready for that. So folks, I know what you've been waiting for. You're waiting for it all year, and so have I. You know what we're going to do? We're going to talk Smackdown. Alright. Excuse me. Now, once again, this was live to tape. It taped Tuesday, I'm going to go with mid-afternoon. Mid-afternoon U.S. time, like probably normal time, UK time. Again, second night in a row at the O2 in London, England. And we started off the match with no disqualification. The Dark Patriot, Jack Swagger, with, of course, Zeb Coulter in his corner, sans birth certificate. And he was facing former World Heavyweight Champion Alberto Del Rio. Of course, he had Ricardo Rodriguez in his corner. So, they go back and forth, and they go back and forth for a while, and at one point, Swagger actually got his lip busted open. So there was blood in this match. There were Singapore canes, and chairs, and ladders. Oh my. And basically, we went to the match. A chair was wedged up into the corner, and actually Swagger throws Del Rio headfirst into it. He rolls outside, grabs the ladder in question, slides it in between the bottom and the middle rope, and ADR uses the leverage to catapult the ladder back into his face, which basically is what busted him open. Now, he heads outside for the attack, but he gets nailed in the head with a ladder. Swagger rolls him back in, goes for a pinfall. 2 count. Alberto locks on the Jujigatami, but Swagger makes his way out. And he gets out of it in a very unique way. He's almost, looks like he's about ready to tap. Zeb Coulter slides in the Singapore cane, and he literally canes Del Rio until he relinquishes his grip, which is a very unique way to get out of a submission hold. But it worked really well for Swagger. So, Del Rio attempts to fight back, and he gets nailed with the gut wrench fallout powerbomb. And 1, 2, 3, clean win. It actually looked like the finish just literally came out of nowhere. It just ended rather abruptly, and I didn't think that it was going home when it did, but, it's kind of surprising. It was alright. I mean, it went 12 and a half minutes. It was a decent match for what it was, and obviously they're on a collision course at Extreme Rules with the World Heavyweight Champion Dolph Ziggler. There will be a triple threat match, so of course we have to build this. Swagger, of course, got the victory over Dolph Ziggler in a match that I complained about on a Raw recap recently. And now, last night, he ends up getting the victory over Alberto Del Rio. So Jack Swagger is now in the driver's seat, which means to me Jack Swagger is eating the pin at Extreme Rules. But that's just how I see things. But we'll talk about Extreme Rules predictions in the future. We get back commercial break, and again, we get another Divas match. Which, oh boy. Oh boy. Here comes Oksana. I don't like Oksana. She's okay. She's not good in the ring. Don't like Oksana. I hate Alicia Fox, so, this is one step better than that. This could have been Tamina Snuka. But it wasn't. It was just Oksana against Layla. And Layla, of course, sporting the Union Jack. She looks like a lost member of the Blossoms. So she'd be a Blossom triplet at this point. So basically, she comes out, and of course she got absolutely no reaction on Raw the night before in the same building. But she gets a minuscule reaction last night. So, we get way through the match, and Oksana whips Layla into the ropes. Layla kick to the face. Oksana fights back, goes for a side headlock. Oksana whips her into the ropes. Layla reverses into a pinfall. Really nice pinfall, actually. And I guess it's now called Infinity. And gets the pin. So yeah, 3 minutes. I'll never get back. Okay. Once again, I bring this up. I guess this is my shout out to Juliet Danielle for the night. Okay. AJ and Caitlyn on NXT, something you need to check out if you get a chance to, had a good women's match. Mickie James and Velvet Sky on Impact the night before main event of the show and had a good women's match. This was not a good women's match. I preferred the battle royal between 5 women on Raw to this match. This match was not good at all. I don't know why it was here. I understand the divas have to be used, and I understand that most of the divas you'd probably want to see were on the Raw tour and the other side of Europe, but come on, this was bad. This sucked. I don't like Oksana. I just wish she'd go back to NXT, or they just cut her and bring someone else in. I know you guys keep bringing up Paige. I still haven't seen her yet. Hopefully I'll see her on NXT soon. I mean, anyone at this point. This could have been anybody else. It could have been one of the Bella twins, but I'm sure, like I said, she was on Raw, on the Raw European tour, so I guess can't always get what you want. And this is not what I need. We come back from commercial break, and of course, we recap the amazing 6-man tag from Monday night, The Shield against The Undertaker and Hell No. And basically, it was really good. It was an excellent match, actually. Very good TV matchup. And definitely a potential candidate. It's not really a high ballot, but a potential candidate for Match of the Year. Now, obviously, we look at The Undertaker and CM Punk from WrestleMania, and you look at TV matches with Alberto Del Rio versus Dolph Ziggler and CM Punk versus John Cena on Raw as great television matches from the WWE this year. So next, we get another awesome Shield promo that I love so much. And basically, Dean Ambrose says he's going to beat The Undertaker. Justice and not Undertaker will be immortal. He won't rest in peace, but he will believe in the Shield. Just chilling words. And like I said, it's a testament to just how good Dean Ambrose really is. Because just a couple years ago, no one knew who he was. Like, the general public did not know who he was. The internet knew who he was. The smart marks knew who he was. But the general public didn't know who Dean Ambrose was. They knew who Jon Moxley was. But now, he gets to go toe-to-toe with The Undertaker in the main event of SmackDown. Kudos to you, Mox. You've come a long way, and you deserve it, sir. You 100% deserve this. Come back from commercial break again, and yep, it's Fandango time. So, of course, Fandango is accompanied to the ring by his concubine for the European tour, NXT diva Summer Rae. And she's really pretty. She can't dance for crap, but she's really pretty, and she can do splits, so, I mean, she's over with me. So, Fandango is over like Rover. The crowd is fandangoing. They are chanting his name. They are treating him like a babyface. And he's awesome. He really is, to be totally honest. And I don't know what the crowd on Monday in Columbus is going to be like, but I'm going to do my very best to make sure that I help the Fandango revolution continue in the capital of Ohio. So, hashtag Fandango Ohio. Start it now. And by the way, if anyone else says it before I did, then anybody says it on Monday night on commentary, Michael Cole, I'm looking at you because you like to steal from this channel. Go ahead. Credit me. Next thing you know, Michael Cole's going to be saying, that's all I got to say about that. But anyway. Michael Cole, straighten your tie. This isn't a tractor pull. So, basically, he's going to face off against Justin Gabriel, who badly needs to get his hair cut because he looks really different. He doesn't look like Adam Lambert like he used to in the past. And I think he got rid of most of his facial hair, so he's looking kind of weird. He's looking kind of like he's in between looks at this point. But anyway, midway through the match, he picks up Justin Gabriel, and Gabriel fights back with a nice set of kicks. Fandango goes for the Irish Whip into the ropes, but Justin hits a very nice outside crescent kick. Gabriel goes for the assisted clothesline from the apron. Fandango catches him with the side kick to the face. He nails a stiff Russian leg sweep. Goes up top, hits the guillotine leg drop, and it's over. Nice little squash. Crowds are really into him. Treated him like he was the biggest babyface in the world. And I love every single second of it. Hashtag Fandango. So 3 minutes and 15 seconds. Not a bad match for what it was. And if you put Fandango in the ring with serviceable workers, the matches will be better. Like, I don't want to see Fandango against Khali. I don't want to see Fandango against, well, I'll go with Khali. Khali's easy to use. I mean, I don't want to see him against Khali, so, I mean, hopefully that'll never happen. I think, like I said, we are getting closer and closer, day by day, to Fandango taking the United States Championship from Kofi Kingston, which I'm pretty sure that's the reason why Kofi got the belt in the first place. So, incidentally, I don't know if this will be mentioned or not. After we come back from the commercial break, I'm just gonna throw this out here right now. I saw this match coming up next, and I just groaned out loud. You know what? If I never see another Sheamus Big Show match for the rest of my life, I would be a very happy person. Very happy person. Because they're okay in the ring together. I don't like their matches. I've never liked their matches. I don't like the Big Show at all. The matches are serviceable. I'm just tired of them, honestly. I mean, there needs to be something different, and there's nothing. I mean, I like Mark Henry a lot, and Mark Henry against Sheamus, I can get into that. And the Big Show, I don't like the Big Show. Big Show's got a great personality. He's funny. He's okay in the ring, but who do you put him against? I mean, there's really no one left. I don't want to see him face the same old again. And then, yeah, if you'd have him feud with Randy Orton, it doesn't really make any sense. I mean, you can't turn him babyface fully because he's a full-fledged heel, so you can't do anything with that. I mean, you could send him after Cena, but, I mean, the only way to... I just thought of this. Okay, here's the deal. How about this? CM Punk's off television right now. Brock Lesnar's off television right now. Well, okay, he's not really off television right now, but he's kind of sporadic appearances. I don't know if he'll be at Raw Monday night. Probably not. Definitely Punk will be at Raw Monday night. Paul Heyman most likely will be at Raw Monday night, and he doesn't really have anyone to manage. So why don't we get the band back together and bring back his association with the Big Show and get him to sick the Big Show on John Cena. Not a bad idea. Or you can make Paul Heyman maybe the mouthpiece of Ryback, because Ryback shouldn't talk. Ryback shouldn't talk anymore. No. I don't mind his promos, but I don't think he needs to talk. We get he's a heel. His promo last week, however as produced as it was, it made me laugh. A lot. I like the reference of Super Cena and saying he's kryptonite. That was cool. I don't like Ryback. I never have, but he's not growing on me, but I mean, baby steps. Baby steps. But, I mean, you could do that too. I mean, it could go either way. So we come back from commercial break. We get Wade Barrett. Yes. The Intercontinental Champion is out, and he's facing off against former Intercontinental Champion William Regal. We get William Regal against Wade Barrett in England. Okay, if there was any justice in this world, this match would have been 20 minutes long and was stiff as hell. This match went less than a minute long. A total lost opportunity. So Regal comes out after losing decisively to Fandango on Monday night, which is the night prior. And he goes up against Barrett. But I love the fact Regal's on television because, honestly, Regal is awesome. And Regal got squashed by the Big Show the last time we were at Raw in November last year. And that sucked. Because I want to see Regal go with someone. I want to see Regal against Daniel Bryan. I want to see Regal against Antonio Cesaro. I want to see Regal against Wade Barrett. A real match against Wade Barrett. These are the matches I want to see, folks. Not going to happen, but I want to see them. But I do like the fact they're utilizing Regal in the UK, so it works fine for me. So Barrett goes right to work immediately with a knee to the midsection. Regal pushes him off into the corner and delivers a nice series of knees himself. Regal is set up for the bullhammer, and Barrett goes for it, but he is hip-tossed out of it. Regal misses a clothesline. He sets up Wade Barrett for the knee trembler, and he goes for it, but Barrett moves out of the way, moves out of the way. He nails the bullhammer, knocks him out, 1, 2, 3. So Wade Barrett is hopefully going places again. I really like to see that because everybody knows I'm a huge Wade Barrett fan, so I want to see them do something with Barrett. And I seriously think, given the fact that I believe this for a long time, he should win Money in the Bank this year. I want Wade Barrett to win the World Heavyweight Championship in 2013. I've been talking about this since Barrett debuted. I think he's got the size. I think he's got the strength. I think he's got the talent. I think he's got the mic skills. I think he has the complete package. He's very serviceable in the ring. He's a good heel. The fans dislike him. That's exactly what he's trying to do, and he can have great matches. And I want Wade Barrett to win the World Heavyweight Championship. I'd even put Wade Barrett in against Cena at this point. They had decent matches. I'll forget about the fact that Cena dropped about 4,000 chairs on him at the pay-per-view TLC, a couple years ago. But, yeah, we'll forget about that. But they had decent matches overall, and Barrett's not using the glorified Fireman's Carry Slam anymore. I mean, he uses Wasteland every once in a while, but he's using Winds of Change, and he's got the Bullhammer now. So Barrett is actually finishing off people with legitimate finishing maneuvers. So you do something with him now. Please, I'm begging you. You already took the U.S. Championship off Antonio Cesaro. You've got Barrett with the Intercontinental Championship, which he lost WrestleMania to The Miz, and then won it back the next night. So, do something with Barrett. Please. So, of course, we see what happens. We saw a recap of what happened Monday night when Paul Heyman challenged Triple H for a steel cage match for Brock Lesnar at Extreme Rules, and of course ended up with Paul Heyman getting pedigreed. So, basically, I really think that Brock Lesnar is going to decimate Triple H and just put him out in this match if they're going to do anything with Lesnar. And like I said, if that's the case, I think what we're going to end up doing, I don't know this for sure. This is what I would do, given the fact that we're hearing that he might come back to the company. You have Brock Lesnar destroy Triple H, and then you maybe have Brock Lesnar destroy Randy Orton. And then and then all of a sudden, after the Orton match, you have Batista come out, make the save, and Evolution gets back together, and we see Batista take on Long Day. We see Batista go one-on-one against Brock Lesnar, who took out his other members of Evolution. I think it works really well if you want to do it that way. But Evolution would be a babyface group this time around. It'd be very strange. But I think it would work. It would work really well. Come back from commercial break, and we get Randy Orton against Mark Henry. Okay. Excuse me. So, basically, early on in the show, Mark Henry pretty much caused Sheamus. Yeah, I was right. Pretty much caused Sheamus to lose to the Big Show because he was basically there for the distraction and then the KO punch, and that's how that match ended. I didn't really talk about it because I really hate those matches. But that's pretty much what happened earlier. So basically, Sheamus is going to get some retribution in this match, and that's exactly what he does. And pretty much it happens later on in the show. Mark Henry battles back, hits some shoulder thrusts. Wow. God. I'm just tired tonight, sorry. So Orton hits his normal spot, clothesline, and he's feeding off the crowd. He hits a DDT, only gets a 2 count. This time he hits the snakebite DDT. Henry rolls to the outside before he can start vipering up. And Orton follows him out. He gets beaten up a bit. Mark Henry turns around when they get back in the ring. Sheamus nails the Brogue Kick, and there's disqualification. And walks right in the RKO, so Mark Henry wins by DQ, and Randy Orton RKOs him. 4.5 minutes. Yeah, that was kind of useless. But once again, it was basically done just to further the feud between Mark Henry and Sheamus. So, I guess that's fine. Come back commercial break, we see the Raw rebound. I'm tired of these recaps from Monday night. I already talked about it Monday, I don't want to talk about it again. Ryback and McFoley confrontation on Raw. So, we get our main event of the evening, and it's pretty interesting. It was The Undertaker against Dean Ambrose. So, basically, there's a feeling out process. And Taker's going for grapples and trying to wrestle. Ambrose basically corners The Undertaker, punching him in the corner repeatedly. Taker finally turns the tables and does the same to Dean Ambrose. And he clotheslines him over the top, hits the leg drop over the chest while he's on the ring apron. Looked awesome. So Ambrose fires back with flurry of punches on the outside. He rolls Taker back in, continues the assault. He corners him and drives the point of the elbow like a face wash style effect across the face of The Undertaker, like the bridge of the nose, 3 times. And basically hits a nice drop kick, goes for a pinfall cover and only gets a 1 count. So Ambrose is on top and he nails a nice neck breaker. Taker powers out at it too. So Ambrose goes for the cravat and he has it locked in. Taker ends up reversing into a choke slam. Ambrose fights out, and they trade punches back and forth. Undertaker comes out on top. Going for the choke slam. Ambrose kicks him in the nuts and rolls to the outside. Taker rolls back in, nails a DDT. Locks in Hell's Gate, and Ambrose tap, tap, tap like Sammy Davis Jr. Not bad. Not bad at all. And Ambrose really stood toe-to-toe with The Undertaker, actually fighting him at one point. He actually brawled with The Undertaker, and it worked. So, Ambrose, I say that this has been said a lot this week about Fandango, and that's true. But you know what? I think Ambrose is definitely going places. Dean Ambrose is awesome. Awesome. Absolutely awesome. He literally has a total package. He will be World Heavyweight Champion one day. He will be a champion sooner rather than later. He will be a tag team champion very soon. I say within 2 years he's on the top of the company. Whether he is the champion or whether he is challenging the champion, he will be, or a threat to the champion, he will literally be on top of the company. He will be a main event star in WWE. Not Roman Reigns. I mean, he's just the muscle. He's probably just going to just flame out. And I think Seth Rollins is serviceable. He's awesome. I like Tyler Black. I love the Age of the Fall. And I loved his stuff in Ring of Honor. But, I mean, at the end of the day, he's a mid-carder. Upper mid-carder. But he's going to be awesome, too. I think, like I said, I think Roman Reigns is probably just going to be just completely useless once the Shield ends, whenever that ends up happening. But this matchup was not about that. It was about what happened after the match. So Roman Reigns ends up spearing Taker through the barricade, and just like Big Daddy Donnie said on the O Show this week, they triple powerbombed The Undertaker through the table at ringside. Taker went through the announce table. The Shield laid waste to John Cena. They have laid waste to Randy Orton. They have laid waste to Sheamus. They have laid waste to The Rock. And now they have laid waste to The Undertaker. They have literally taken out all the top baby faces in the company. No one can stop the Shield as of this moment. And the people that do are going to be heralded as heroes to the company. The Shield is on a collision course with Hell No at Extreme Rules. It hasn't been announced yet, but I have a feeling we'll probably build to it on Monday on Raw and Tuesday on Tuesday/Friday on SmackDown. But good show. Good show. Ambrose and The Undertaker, not a match of the year candidate by any means, but Ambrose went toe-to-toe with The Undertaker. He fought The Undertaker, and he lived to tell about it. He tapped out. He still didn't get pinned. So Ambrose loses no heat whatsoever in the match. He looked amazing in the match against The Undertaker, and excellent. Mark Henry and Randy Orton, it was okay. It was alright for what it was. It was basically just used for the revenge from Sheamus for Mark Henry's interference when he fought the Big Show earlier on in the show. And I don't want to talk about that match either. I'm tired of those guys wrestling. And Barrett continues to be dominant. I like that. Fandango is over like Rover everywhere. And hopefully when we get to Raw in Columbus Monday night, he'll be over there. Oksana and Layla, that match sucked. I wish Layla could have faced someone else that could actually work. And decent no DQ match with Swagger and Del Rio. So overall, SmackDown was pretty good. I actually did enjoy it. So I'm going to get off here. I'm going to upload this video before I head to bed for the evening. I have to work tomorrow, and then me and AJ are going to be watching a couple movies. He's going to broaden my film horizons again with Freeway and Barton Fink. So we're going to watch that. So I'm going to get off here. And once again, if you like the videos, thumbs them up and subscribe. Continue to watch, continue to view, and join me for Raw on Wednesday. Not Monday, Wednesday. We will talk a live Raw recap that me and Will are shooting on our way back from Raw in Columbus just 2 days from today. So that's going to be the end for now. SmackDown was good, and yes, I will continue to review NXT from this point forward. So we're doing NXT. I don't know exactly what day it'll be. It just kind of depends on when Farley gets it online so I can watch it. And once I watch it, I'll talk about it for you guys. So once again, thank you for watching. Thank you for helping us get to 5,000 before Wednesday. And until tomorrow, boys and girls, that's all I got to say about that.